Have you ever gone through someone's phone in the middle of the night? In that moment when your finger slides across the screen, what do you hope to see? And what do you fear the most? Tonight's story comes from a wife. She said, "I've always been losing to someone I can't even see." She and her husband were high school sweethearts. In college, she was the one who pursued him. Back then, they had nothing long distance, phone calls across cities, stacks of train tickets saved over time. She believed that if they could survive the distance, it would mean a lifetime together. Later, they really did plan to return to their hometown and get married. The wedding date was set. Invitations were sent. Wedding photos were taken. Then he said, "Let's break up." In that moment, she felt like her world collapsed. It turned out that in the city where he worked, he had met another woman. He was the one who pursued her. The other woman didn't know he had a fiancé, didn't know they were already engaged. She said, "I threatened to kill myself." She refused to break up. She found the other woman's contact information and warned her to stay away from him. She told him, "The invitations have already been sent. We can't let our parents lose face. You have to go through with the marriage." He agreed. The other woman also withdrew. The wedding happened as planned. Everyone said they were a perfect match. From school uniforms to a wedding dress, a love story fulfilled. Only she knew that beneath that wedding dress, there was already a crack. Not long after the marriage, he brought up divorce. She cried, made a scene, threatened to hurt herself again, and once again warned the other woman. He stopped mentioning divorce. But he also didn't want children. Until 2 years later when that white moonlight got married. Only then did he start buying a house. Later, they had a child. Over the years, most of the family income came from him. He treated her family well and was attentive to their child. To outsiders, this looked like the perfect template of a happy family. But in recent years, they've been sleeping in separate rooms. He never initiates intimacy, gets angry for no reason, and apart from matters concerning the child, they barely communicate. She said, "I feel like he's hiding something." So she checked his phone. She discovered that he and that white moonlight had been back in contact for years. The woman would confide in him about her unhappy marriage. They talked about work, about current events. They chatted almost every day with endless things to say. From the chat history, they hadn't met in person. But he had said he was really looking forward to seeing her. She didn't confront him. She asked me, should I let him know that I found out? Should I warn her again and make them stop contacting each other? She said, "I feel like I've been losing all these years to someone I can't even see. I want to answer her to questions first. Should you confront him?" Confrontation itself isn't the issue. The key is, what do you want to achieve by confronting him? If you want him to feel guilty, he won't. A man who chats with his white moonlight every day has already crossed the threshold of guilt. If you want him to stop, he won't. You stopped them once, yet they reconnected years later. You can stop it once, but not forever. If you want him to love you again, sorry, that's never something confrontation can accomplish. Should you warn her again? You've already warned her once. That time, she withdrew. But withdrawal doesn't mean forgetting. Years later, they reconnected. What does that mean? It means she never truly let go either. If you warn her again, it will only confirm to her that you're afraid of her. And a white moonlight who makes another woman feel threatened becomes even more attractive. So what are they really after? What is he after? It's not her. If it truly were, he wouldn't have waited until she got married to buy a house or have a child. What he is after is someone he can never have. In psychology, there's a concept called the Zeigarnik effect or unfinished business. People assign greater value to things that were never completed. Their story never truly ended. There was no dramatic fallout, no emotional exhaustion, just a forced interruption. That interruption froze the woman in his mind at her most perfect state. She's not a person anymore. She's a painting. A painting that never ages, never argues, never gets worn down by daily life. And what is she after? A woman who feels unhappy in her marriage needs an emotional outlet. He listens to her, understands her, keeps her company through conversation. He gives her the emotional comfort she doesn't receive in her marriage. Between them, it's less about love and more about a kind of mutual emotional dependency. He uses her to escape the dullness of marriage. She uses him to fill the void in hers. But I want to say something that might not sound very pleasant. In this story, your real opponent was never that white moonlight. She is just a crack in the wall of your marriage. The crack existed long before she just happened to grow along it. Think about it. If your marriage were truly full and whole, why would he need to talk every day to someone he can't have? I'm not blaming you. I'm trying to say you've spent all your energy trying to drive her away, but you've never asked yourself, why does he keep wanting to leave? The first time, he responded with a breakup. You threaten your life. The second time, he responded with divorce. You cried and made a scene. You never asked, why does he want to leave? You only did one thing: you shut the door. You closed every door and then told yourself, I've finally made him stay. But what you kept was a trapped person, not a man who loves you. Sleeping in separate rooms. No intimacy. Sudden anger. No communication beyond the child. These signals are not saying, I have someone else in my heart. They are saying, our relationship is empty between you and him. It's no longer about does he love her or love me. It's about do you still have a we. You checked his phone and saw his messages with another woman. But what you didn't see is that there are no messages left between you and him. I'm not telling you to divorce. I'm not telling you to endure. I want you to try an experiment. For the next month, stop checking his phone. Stop thinking about her. Stop warning anyone. Bring your attention back to yourself. Have you ever asked yourself over the years, besides being his wife and the child's mother, who are you? You were once the girl who had the courage to pursue him. You once had the bravery to go after the person you loved. Where is that courage now? Where is that strength? You've used all of it just to keep someone who wants to leave. Have you ever thought that you deserve to be loved not because you've closed all the doors, but because you yourself are a light? If you ask me, what is the saddest part of this story? It's not that he can't forget her. It's that you have forgotten yourself. You spent over a decade becoming a gatekeeper, guarding a door he always wants to leave, watching over a person he can never forget. But you never asked, why have I placed myself in this position? Tonight, I want to say to her and to everyone listening, the greatest tragedy in love is not loving and not being loved in return. It's turning yourself into someone you no longer recognize just to keep someone who doesn't love you. That white moonlight is not your opponent. Your real opponent is your fear, the fear of losing someone who was never truly yours. You deserve to be fully loved, not kept by threats of self-harm. You deserve to be chosen with certainty, not to be someone's second option. If tonight's story reminds you of something, I hope it's not the person who made you check their phone. I hope it reminds you of the person you used to be, the one who was brave enough to love. Is she still there? Good night. May you stop guarding someone else's door and remember to leave a window open for yourself. If you have a story to share, feel free to leave a comment or send me a message. Every late night, someone is listening.